Hello, I'm gonna teach you two really dirty tricks. And the reason that I would teach you such horrible things is that I want you to be able to avoid those schemes when they are employed upon you. All right? And for the first one, I'm gonna give you an historical anecdote about a very, very famous Chinese general. He was actually not a general at this point. He was at a job interview, you could say, to become the general. And it was at the times where in China they had an emperor, and the council was interviewing this young man and was testing him. And this man had put forth some ideas about how to run an army, which were to be one extremely famous account at a later point. But at this point, they were just sort of like, well, let's see if you got your theories straight. And one of the council members asked him, so do these rules also apply to women? And the man says, yes, they do. And he said, okay, let's test it. So we're gonna give you 100 women and another group of 100 women, and then we're gonna give you one of the emperor's concubines and to be in charge of each group. And then we expect you to make soldiers out of these. And the man says, all right, I'll do that. So let's just be perfectly clear. They're under my command, my sole command. And yeah, they're under your sole command. Let's see what you got. And the man goes to these two groups, talk to the two concubines made in charge, and says to them, so, very simple, your task is to relay what I say and make your troops do exactly as I tell you. All right? And the concubines say, yeah, I will do that. And then the general says, all right, so very simple, give them all weapons, they get a sword of some sort, and they are told by the general, all right, so when I say turn left, you just turn left. He shows exactly how. It's very simple. Turn right, you do this. And that's it. That's for the first drill. And then he issues the order to the concubines to say, make them turn left. And all the women just start laughing and giggles, and they're not soldiers or anything, so nothing really happens. And then the general says, okay. Now, it could be that an order has been issued which is not possible to comply with because it's not understandable. This order is, however, understandable. Let's try again. And he said, turn right. And the same thing happens. The concubines the giggles and sort of say, turn right, and then nothing happens. And he says, all right. Now, in the case that a command is repeatedly ignored by the troops, the superiors are responsible, and then he orders that the two concubines' heads are to be removed, beheaded. Now the emperor actually get hold of this order to execute the two concubines, and he says, well, they sort of given permission for the man to have these people as his sole disposal. So, well, he sort of says, okay, I will really appreciate if these concubines are spared, because I would consider that a great loss. However, the man reflects on that and he says, no, I cannot grant you this, emperor, as I am in charge and be given the job to make soldiers out of these women. So, the answer is no. And then he orders and carries through the beheading of the two concubines. Now here comes the moral. Two other concubines are then made to replace the two, and then he repeats his order, and now they react like that. That's what fear does to people. If you wonder, why are they doing that? Most likely they're doing it because of fear. Yeah? What would happen if I don't do what I'm told? So a lot of people hold back because of fear. Now, there is a great philosopher one of the greatest of the last century, who tells a story of a lake down in Africa where the piercing sun goes all the way to the bottom and where the fishermen trap fish by the use of shadows. Yes, you heard me, by the use of shadows only. What they do is they have these logs where they place on the surface of the water around the fish, and then they slowly pull these logs, which are just on the top of the surface, towards the shallow water. And because the fish can see this blackness from the shade of these logs around them moving in a direction, they keep within the invisible fence until they arrive at shallow water where they're simply killed. Now, what hides in the shadows is an amazing way to control people. And you'll be having some shadows of your own, which stops you, okay? So, a little bit of control here, and I hope it will help you step out of your shadows. All right? Take care.